Hey guys, how are we? Well, here in Thailand now, so finally made it. It's, oh my goodness, what a stress and panic that was to even sort of get out. It was just wild. So the situation is that up until June 1st, you had to get approved for your Thailand pass. So you had to get a PCR test before you could actually apply for the Thailand pass. So I left our PCR test until the Sunday morning, even though we were flying out Monday evening. And I thought, well, as you know, 2 days, it's going to be plenty of time to get the PCR test back and submit that with the Thailand pass. So it gives us 48 hours, which is what they sort of say it takes, up to 48 hours. Well, the laboratory in Athens didn't get the results back to us soon enough. At 4:30 in the afternoon, I went back to the laboratory and just said, hey, you need to give me this bloody test immediately, otherwise I'm going to lose my air flight. So anyway, they hadn't even begun the cycle. It's got to go through thermal cycle. So PCR test is basically amplifying the genetic matter, whatever it is. I don't know. My wife used to teach PCR tests and that process at university, so she knows all about it. I don't know much about it at all. Anyway, apparently they hadn't even begun our tests, so yeah, it was just absolutely stressful. I wouldn't wish it upon anyone. And my wife said, oh, no, it's all right, because you always make things work. And I'm like, you have no idea of the hell that I go through to make things work. But so anyway, we were sitting there sort of waiting, and so we got the test back at about 5 o'clock in the afternoon. About 5. I submitted the application for the Thailand pass at about 5:15, and I thought, my God, there's just no way in the world we're going to get that back fast enough. And so anyway, I actually emailed the Thai consulate and requested that they get onto it and please just get us that pass, get it processed, because we're going to fly out. And it's like everything else here in Thailand. Like you email real estate agents, in my experience, they've gotten back to me within 5-10 minutes. Within by about 7:30, 8 o'clock in the morning, we got our Thailand pass. So what's that? Not even 12 hours turnaround. Just over 12 hours turnaround time. So anyway, we certainly got that through in time, which was great. Got on the flight, and yeah, so it's just been a matter of, so we got into Thailand 8 o'clock on the Monday morning, and I'd already organised to get us down to Pattaya, so we didn't stay at all in Bangkok. We basically flew straight from Bangkok. We got the bus straight from Bangkok to to Pattaya. The easiest way to do that is just go to level 1, gate 8, and just off to the side there, you'll see the bus. There's like a bus terminal there. Just buy your tickets. It's about $5 Australian, I think it is, and really, really cheap. So otherwise, you're going to be paying around $50 US to for a taxi to drive you from the airport to Pattaya, and so that's probably by far the cheapest way to do it. I think for both my wife and I, it was 13,000. I don't know. I'm still confused with the baht thing. It's not clear to me yet, because we're dealing between Australian dollars, US dollars, and euros, because a lot of our business is done in euros, and I earn money in euros, and we have a lot of US dollars, and then we also have, so this is the beach. It's actually quite nice. So I think it's about, it's about 50 baht, which I think is about $2 Australian, or about $1.50 to sit on the chairs on the beach. That's my understanding about it anyway. So it's it's not that hard to get down to Pattaya. Sorry, I'm rambling a bit, because as much as we've been here now for about 2 days, I'm still struggling just with a bit of jet lag, and just acclimatizing to it, because it's very hot and very humid here, and as much as I'm used to it, it sort of reminds me of the Pacific Islands. I did a bit of work in the islands about 10 years ago, and it's very similar sort of heat. Very dry, very humid, so it's it takes a little bit to get used to. So even last night I think we slept until about 9:30 this morning, just absolutely exhausted. And mind you, there's worse problems to have in the world, isn't there? But it's very humid here, but I prefer the humidity than the dry heat that you sort of get in Greece. It's far better on the skin. I said to a mate of mine today, I feel like I've taken about 10 years back on my life, because I'm not all shriveled up and wrinkled. So but yeah, it's lovely being here. It really is. It's a very, very nice part of the world. And so initially we flew from Bangkok to and caught the bus down to Pattaya. Shock of our life getting onto the they call it a bus, but it's really like a ute with a canopy on it, with some stainless steel bars sort of around it. It's all open shell, no seat belts, and it just reminds me of being on the sheep and cattle property when we were kids, and there were these other kids that were sort of locals there, and the Robertsons, and they had a ute. I mean, these kids were probably 11, 12 years old, and they're driving utes around on the cattle property. But anyway, that's Australia back in the day. But it just reminded me of that, everybody jumping in the back of the ute. But so anyway, that's their version of a bus here. So we got our luggage, and it says my wife and I, and my wife was just horrified. But she's a trooper. But So we went to this place in central Pattaya called Arden Hotel. Actually, a very nice hotel. Nice pool, sauna, spa, you know, the usual type stuff, and very nice sort of thing. It cost me about 28 euros for the night, which is not that expensive. And what I wanted to do initially when I planned getting here was just get a lay of the land. I'd done a lot of research online, but you know, it's not until you get into a location that you see the geometry and how everything relates to each other that you kind of go, oh, okay, that's how it fits. And we were in central Pattaya, and it's kind of like a reformed slum. A lot of sort of shacks, and you look at the cabling and all that on the street, and it's wild. I would not want to be an electrician in Thailand. So anyway, the following night, I basically got onto Airbnb after numerous attempts of trying to secure a 1 month stay in a hotel in Facebook Marketplace, because that seems to be where a lot of them advertise. So I got onto Airbnb, and we got a nice place in northern Pattaya, which is very different to central. A lot more upmarket, much nicer. I mean, that's what you're sort of looking at here. And stunning place, just really beautiful. And so anyway, so we've been here for 2 days now, but yeah, so we got it for 297 Australian dollars or 196 euros for the month. And our Airbnb hosts are really lovely people, Maya and her husband, and they're Russian people and been here for 4 years, and just really lovely. So yeah, so we're here. We're just starting to get settled. So I haven't done too many posts about anything, but haven't even looked at the real estate scene. I had a look at a place called the Palm, and I'll put that in this video as well. I'll tell you what, nice place. So very, very nice. You can rent a place there for 19,500 baht per month. I don't know what that is. So I normally times by 4 and then take 2 zeros off. So it's about 800 Australian dollars, which would be probably about 600 euros, I would imagine, roughly, very roughly, per month. But you're talking beautiful, beautiful place, like just amazing. But yeah, no cold weather here. You only get wet and dry. So I think we're heading into the summer season now, and you can see some people out there having a bit of a ride at the moment. It's not really all that busy, and I've seen a lot of empty retail places here. As I said, we've been in northern Pattaya now. Went for a bit of a walk last night. You certainly don't walk in the middle of the day here. Mad dogs and Englishmen go out in the midday sun, but normally I wouldn't come out this sort of day. I'd be in the hotel, just basically working away on the computer, and then early morning and late afternoon you sort of go out. Everyone goes out and has something to eat. Oh, I'll film another place that I went to yesterday with Amy, and we had some pad thai noodles and some, I don't know what it was. Amy had some sort of salad. So cheap, really cheap, and very, very nice food. I think it was like $1.50 or something, €1.30 for a meal. And like normally in Australia, you'd be like, I used to buy Amy pad thai noodles for dinner. You know, be getting home from work and say, oh, what do you feel like? Oh, you know, get me some pad thai noodles, you know, $15 later. And, you know, for a single portion. So, yeah, here it's about $1.30. It's absolutely beautiful. I mean, if you want to pay more, you go to a restaurant or something like that, but just street food, very, very nice. Anyway, it's been about 15 minutes, so I will, yeah, I'm going to stop the video there. But, yeah, sorry for rambling on earlier on, but we're still in jet lag mode here, so we were up until 2 a.m. in the morning because, you know, we're 5-6 hours ahead here. So, yeah, anyway, strange times. All right, guys, gonna love you and leave you, and I'll shoot another video later.